Good day, everyone. You're welcome back to this channel. What I have today is how to cut an hairline gown. Very, very easy. Now, to start with, as you can see, this is just a piece of the gown. That is, this is the front part of the gown. Actually, I was supposed to cut the two, both the front and the back, at the same time. But in this case, it won't work that way. The reason is that the length of this fabric is not double, it's not up to 60. And because of this, so that's the reason why it won't work out for me to cut both the front and the back piece at the same time. Now, this is just a piece, like I just said. What I actually did was to determine the body measurement. Now, after determining the biggest part of the body's measurement is what I use to cut out the width for this gown. And usually, it's the hip circumference that is usually the biggest part of the body measurement. So the hip for this gown is 44, and 44 divided by 4, I have 11 inches. So 11 inches, I added extra 8 inches because it's not going to have a slit at the back, so it's going to be free. So that was why I added 8 inches. So 8 plus 11 gives me 19 inches. So by the time I measure this, now you can see it's on fold. So by the time I measure it, now you see I have almost 20 inches. Almost. I have almost 20 inches. So that is that. Now for the length of this gown, the length is 51 inches. So I added 1 inch for the folding at the base, making it 52 inches. So that's just the the length of this gown, 52. So right now I'm going to start. I'm going to turn it this way, lest I forget. This is the right the right side of this fabric, why this is the wrong side, so I will be working with the wrong side. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is to place my ruling tape to get the shoulder measurement, the shoulder. Now the shoulder measurement is 16 inches. So 16 inches divided by 2, I will be having 8. So this is 8 plus 3/4, less than half an inch, just for the joining. So I will be placing my rule right here. So I have 8 3/4 inches. So I mark it. This is the shoulder line. Now I'm going to measure the half of my armhole line. Now to determine the half of my armhole line, now the bust of this gown is 40. Now 40 divided by 4, I have 10. So I'm going to deduct 1 out of it, making 9. So 9 is going to be the length of my armhole. So, but the slope, I will be adding like 0.5 inches. So I will be having the total of 9.5 inches for the armhole line. 9.5. So I have it here. So what I'm going to do right now is to connect this line to this line. So having connected the line, Now I can now place my rule right here. If I place it right here to determine my bust, it will still work out. And if I decide to place it 1.5 inches down under the chest line, it still work out. So let me just place it on the chest line, so I can now determine my, so I measure out my bust circumference. Like I said the other time, I said the bust for this gown is 40 inches. 40 divided by 4 gives me 10. So I'm going to place, so I have 10 inches, 10 inches. So plus 1 for ease, because it's meant to be free. So there is not going to be any zipper. So that's the essence why I'm adding 1 inch, just to be free a bit. Not too free, but a bit free. Now another 1 inch for the same allowance, or less than 1, but I will be using just 1 inch here. So I will connect this line to this point here. Okay, so right now, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go to the waist. Now I'm going to place my ruling tape right here at the edge here. Then I measure 16.5 inches downward, or 17 inches. So I'm marking 17 inches downward. So this 17 inches is going to be my waistline. So I will also mark here too 17 inches, so that I can later connect the lines together to give me a straight line. So right now I'm going to connect this line together as my waistline. So having achieved my waistline, now I can now go to my hip line. So from the waist, I'm going to measure between 8 or 9 inches from the waist downward. That is going to serve as my hip line. So I'm going to place my rule right on the waistline. Then I measure 8 inches downward. So like I said it's between 8 and 9. So you could make it 8 or 8.5 or 9. So I measure 8. I come here, I measure 8. Then here too, I measure 8 inches downward. You can see. So right now, I connect these lines together. You see. So this is my hip line. So coming to the down part, So I'm going to leave the down part. Now I come up. Remember, I'm through with the circumference of this, the bust. So I go to the waist. The waist for this is 34 inches, and 34 divided by 4, I will be having 8.5 inches. So 8.5 inches, I'm going to measure. I have my 8.5 inches right here. Then 1 inch as my ease. Then 1 inch for the seam allowance. So coming to the hip, like I said, 44 divided by 4 gives me 11 inches. So I have my 11 inches right here. 1 inch for my ease, for the ease. Then 1 inch for seam allowance. So on the hip side, I have the total of 13 inches. So right now, coming to the down part, what I'm going to do right now is to transfer what I have on the hip here to the down part. So I have 13 inches on the hip line. Now 13 in these 13 inches, I'm going to add an additional 6 inches to it, just to make it free at the down part, so that since there's not going to be any slit. So right now 13 plus 6, I will be having 19 inches. So I'm going to place my rule. I have my 19 inches here. So the nice thing I'm going to do right now is just to connect this line together. I'm going to connect this very one to this. Sorry, there's an error there. Sorry, this is the real line. So right now I'm going to come back to the armhole. I'm going to mark 0.5 here as my shoulder slope. So I place my rule here. So right now I'm going to look at what I have here. I have 9 inches here. So half of 9 inches, I have 4.5. So I'm going to connect, make a round curve, or I'm going to mark just 1 inch at this same point, the diagonal. So which will serve as a guide. So remember, this is the front piece. So the front piece, I'm going to reshape it. And see, or if you don't want to use a free hand like this, you can just come in by 3/4 inch. Then from there, then you can make the curve, because that of the front is usually deeper than that of the back. So right now I go to the neckline. So it's going to be the one with tie. So I'm going to measure 3 inches, that is for the width. 3 inches for the width. Then the depth, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches for the depth. So I'm going to connect these lines together. Then I also measure 3.5 here. Then I connect these lines together. So right now, I'm going to curve. So I will measure 1 inch here at this corner. That is for the neck. So right now, I'm going to connect this slope, shoulder slope, to this point here. Can you see? So this is the front. So right now, because I'm going to eventually use this one to cut the front, I mean the back, if I wouldn't mind. But if I decide not to use this, and it means I'm going to start all over again with the measurement for the back. So just to make it snappy, so let me just determine the back neck depth, 1 inch, the depth of the back. So which means I'm going to use this to cut out the back piece. So I'm going to measure 1 inch also from here to give me a very straight line. So I connect these lines together. Then I make my curve, slight curve. So this one is for the back. Why this line is for the back. So right now I'm going to cut it out. So I cut it out, tracing the line. All I need to do is just to trace the line, very, very easy, and use it to cut it out. So As you can see, I've used this front one to cut out the back piece, and that was why I didn't touch this and also this. So now that I'm done with the back piece, can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to remove the back, leaving the front for reshaping. So right now, I can now reshape, starting from the armhole. Then the neckline. So I'm done cutting. So this is just the same very easy way of cutting an A-line gown. You can see the down part. If you want to go ahead to curve it, you are just to come out here by 1.5 inch, after which then you slant it like so. But for this, I'm going to leave it like this as it is. So that's just as simple as it is. I really want to appreciate you for taking your time to watch this video. Can you see? So if you have any question, please drop your question in the comment section. If you have any area which you are not clear, just kindly drop your question for me to attend to you. Thank you very much. I believe you have gained one or two things in this tutorial. Thank you very much. So till I come your way again, bye for now.